So I know a lot of you may be looking at the title of this video and going, whoa, 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 you can't just say something like that. Obviously, depression is real and it affects a lot of people. And I mean, sure, that's true. Depression, I will admit, depression is a real thing, kind of. And today I'm going to show you why all of your, like, thoughts on depression, everything like that, have actually just been made to keep you weak and to keep you complacent because honestly depression, like the idea of depression isn't real, and the only reason we think it is because it's been pushed onto us by all these like modern media people that really don't care about our mental health and just want to, like, they want to succeed with their own agenda. They don't care about you at all. They don't care that you have depression. They don't care you have anxiety. They don't care about anything you have. They just want to make money. So, when I say depression, I mean the guy who just kind of sits there not wanting to do anything with his life, who just like eats junk food, play video games, doesn't go outside, doesn't have any friends, doesn't have a purpose in life. And, that's really what I mean with depression. That's probably what a lot of people mean with depression. But honestly, all of that is just satire, because while, yes, you can have all of these things, the idea that depression is like genetic and like it's something that you cannot control might be one of the stupidest arguments I've ever heard, and it annoys me that so many people think like that it's true. Because while, yes, you can have depression, the idea that depression is something you can't control is so annoying. Because if we really look at it, depression is self-induced, you know? Look at a guy who has his true purpose in life, who goes outside, who has friends, who doesn't spend all his time on video games and meaningless content on YouTube. And you will never see someone who has depression with that. Someone who does all the good habits will almost never have depression. Obviously, there are some cases where if your brain's like really messed up, then something is, but for every normal person out there, depression is not a real thing. And depression, if you have depression, it's just self-induced. The only reason you have depression, well, think of it this way. Depression is what happens when you lack motivation to do anything. You just want to like lie down and do all the easy things. You don't want to do any hard work. And the reason you lack motivation to do those things is because your body and your brain aren't used to doing those things, and they are in a sad state because you've played video games, you've watched meaningless content, you've stayed up late, you've ate junk food, you do all these bad habits all the time that your brain has just become so used to them that it's how they live. It's not something where playing video games is a once in a while thing that is like a treat. It's just how you live. Your brain doesn't even like your brain doesn't know how to function without all this extra stimulation coming in. And then when you finally settle in reality, your brain realizes, oh shit, my life is going nowhere. I've got nothing to do with my life. And that is really what depression comes from. It's that moment in reality when your brain finally realizes that you have been a total loser for your entire life. It's that moment where you get off the video games and you realize that your life has no meaning. And I had this same problem during COVID. I struggled with depression because my life had no meaning. All I was doing, I was playing video games, I was watching YouTube, I was watching porn for the entirety of my life. I didn't care about school because it's online, and I kind of just threw it on and then watched YouTube on my other computer or watched porn on my other computer. I was eating junk food all the time. I would go and sneak junk food behind my parents' back because I was embarrassed about how much junk food I was eating. And, my entire life was meaningless when I was there, and I, got diagnosed with depression. So I know what I'm talking about when I say this. It took me maybe a month to get rid of my depression after I started working out. Like, I'd still say that February 2022, I think, I was still pretty depressed. I didn't really have much meaning in life, although it was getting better. And then I found that video, and in a month, I felt so much better than I'd ever felt before. I felt like how I felt when I was a kid and I had no idea what this world was. And that is really proof that for most normal people, depression is not a real thing. And the idea that you can't control your own depression is terrible because, one, it like amplifies or supports the claims of all the normal people thinking that they can't control this, there's nothing they can do about it, so they're not going to do anything about it. And two, it takes the power away from you. It says that you cannot stop this. This is something that's going to happen, and it's not your ability to stop this. You cannot stop this. And why would we take the power away from ourselves? This is something where we can stop this because depression is something that's self-induced. The only reason you are depressed is because you've been doing these bad habits, and then depression makes you want to do these bad habits more to cope with the depression, which makes you more depressed. That's all self-induced. We don't need all this medicine and diagnosis and stuff like that. We just have to realize that the only reason we're depressed is by our own faults, and that by fixing those faults we can escape depression. And I know this sounds super easy with what I'm saying right now, and I know it's not. Trust me, it's not easy. I went through it myself, and it was awful, but it's what needs to be done. And if you can't escape your own depression, then I really would suggest getting some help from someone that's not me on the internet talking to you about depression. And honestly, even if you think you can on your own, I'd recommend getting help. Find someone that can help you get through this, because having someone there in real life is so much better. I had my boss, who I've known for 12 years because he used to teach me at the karate school I now work at. I went to him because we are super close. We're practically like, we're best friends at this point. And, you know, he's the one I know I can trust to help me with mental health, with meditation, with sleep, with working out, because he does all those good habits. So finding someone to help you with all this crazy stuff, like all the bad habits, getting rid of them, getting good habits in, trust me, go get someone like that. It doesn't have to be your boss. It can be your mom or dad if they do good habits. It can be maybe you have an older brother or an older friend that you need help. But the first huge part of getting rid of depression is admitting that there is something you can do about it, and then going to find someone who can help you. Because if you keep brainwashing yourself with all this modern media that says, oh, there's nothing you can do about it anyways, then you're never going to be able to escape it, because you're never going to try to escape it because you don't think you can. If you admit that you need to do something to change your life, and then you find help to do it, it puts the responsibility in your hands. It puts the power in your hands. And now you have to live with the knowledge that either you can do something about it or you did do something about it. And one of them will hurt you more than the other one. Because if you live with the knowledge that you can do something about it, it is going to suck, because you're going to be in, states where you just don't want to live anymore. You're doing nothing but bad habits. And you are going to know that there is something you could change, but you're not going to, and that's going to mess you up even more. But if you're watching a teenager tell you about depression, then hopefully you're going to choose the second option. And you are going to um, you're going to do something about it. You're going to have the knowledge that you did something about it. And in a few years' time, you can look back and be grateful that you did something about it. You can be grateful for yourself because you truly tried to do something about it and you ended up fixing it. So, depression is something, it's a very touchy subject nowadays. We get all these videos in high school about it and everything like that. But the truth is, literally, just taking responsibility of your own problems will really help cure your depression by realizing that you are the main cause for your depression. You will be able to fix it. And then if you go get help from someone else and you go ask a better, like a higher quality person for advice, you will be able to get rid of it on your own. You don't need any of these drugs, these medicines. You'll be able to do it completely naturally, and you will feel so much better than you ever would have if you took these stupid drugs or didn't do anything about it, because you know you're actually going to be something now. And that is really a great feeling when you finally escape the loop. You can look at yourself in the mirror, you can flex and show off your muscles and really think, I can be something now. I'm not just some rando Jeffrey now. I can actually be something. And that feeling is so incredible. But the only way that you get that feeling is do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. See you guys next time. Bye bye.